Hey, what's going on YouTube? Sin City Guns here out in Las Vegas. It is a beautiful, beautiful day, so I figured I'd get some of the guns out in the courtyard here, get out under the sunshine, fresh air, and go ahead and shoot a quick video. So today, I actually want to try and answer some of the more common questions that I get. I get them in the comment section, and then I also get them in private message form. And a lot of the questions are around a couple of the same themes. So first is quality. What is my perceived perception of the quality of the Infinity, and then also my Wilsons. And then I also get a lot of questions about worth. Is it worth it? So today I have a few different guns out, and we're going to go ahead and try and tackle those topics. So let me just pan back here and show you what we got. So I got a few different guns out today, as you can see. And we're going to go ahead and talk about all of these. We'll touch on them a little bit here. All right. So, the question I get a lot: quality. What is better quality? Is the Infinity better quality? Is the Wilson better quality? What is my opinion? So here's the deal. You cannot deny that the Infinity and the Wilsons both have just ridiculous quality about them. You absolutely can't deny that. You know as soon as you pick it up. The Infinity especially, it's very heavy. And just the fact that it's just so different and it's so unlike any other gun that most people have ever seen, it just screams quality and it screams custom. You know, I mean, this thing kind of almost looks like, it looks like a movie prop or something like that. To me, the devil is in the details. So, you know, like the fact of how well this is blended. I mean, you can't even feel this ridge at all where this is blended, not even with your fingernail. It's just absolutely perfect. The Wilsons are pretty much the same way, where this is blended. You can kind of feel a little bit of a ridge here on the Wilson, but same thing. I mean, it's just blended absolutely perfectly, and you really just cannot feel any ridge at all. You can just tell so much attention has been given. Now, go to something like the STI. Now, to me, with anything that is a kind of a plastic grip or you know, the weight of it, in my opinion, you automatically think like, oh, this is not as high quality. Now, I know those are kind of very subjective and arbitrary things, but again, this is, you know, my opinion. But then we look at something like the details. So here, same thing. The magwell is definitely not blended nearly as well. There's just a very, very abrupt ridge, and it goes almost all the way around. I mean, you can put your fingernail on it. So, you know, something little like that, I think, speaks volumes. Now, this is obviously a straight production gun versus something like this that are all custom. We can go into something like the Sig Scorpion here. So, same thing. This has a magwell on it, but there's a very, very distinct ridge here where the magwell has not been blended. Now, I wouldn't expect Sig to do that, especially at this price point, but I'm just trying to point out some of the differences between a custom gun and a production gun. Now, we can move on to something like a Glock. Now, I love Glocks, as I love 1911s, and I carry a Glock every day. And I have many Glocks around the house for home protection. However, in my opinion, when you pick up a Glock, you can tell it is more about utilitarian use. It is not meant to be a showpiece. It's meant to do a job. This is your Ford F-150 pickup truck, and it does the job extremely, extremely well. You know, the fact that it is polymer, the fact that it is light, you know, you look at a lot of these things, there's a lot of rough edges, nothing's been blended or anything like that, and that's fine. That is what this gun is meant to be. However, when you're talking about perceived quality, Yes, I think most people would pick up something like this and think that it is lower quality than something like this. Now again, quality is a relative term. And then with quality comes worth. So, is it worth it? Is something like this worth $5,000? Something like this worth $5,000? In the sense that you can buy this for $5,000, or you can buy this for about 550 bucks, 600 bucks, and when you pull the trigger, this goes bang, and when you pull the trigger, this goes bang. Is it worth it? Well, then no. Some of the correlations that I've made in my comments are something like, you know, is a Ferrari worth it over a Toyota Corolla? Well, I mean, if you're just going to jump in your Ferrari and you're going to drive to work every day, and then you're going to go to the supermarket, then no, it's definitely not worth it. If you look at the fact that the Ferrari has higher performance, or the Ferrari is faster, or the Ferrari looks better, or the Ferrari is more exclusive, or it was custom made, or whatever the case may be, then to some people it would be worth it. When you talk about these guns as well, and you talk about worth, I think you have to talk about the relative income. For somebody that makes $500,000 a year, spending $5,000 on a gun is spending about 1% of their income. That would be like somebody who makes $50,000 a year buying a Glock. So somebody makes $50,000 a year, they buy a Glock for $500. Somebody makes $500,000 a year, they buy a custom gun for $5,000. So you do have to kind of take in the relative aspect of income. Now, in my opinion, no matter how much money you make, $5,000 is a lot of money, and that can go a long way, and it can do a lot of different things. I think you also have to take into account, you know, we all spend our money in different places. So I know tons of guys who golf is their main hobby, and they have no problem spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars every year on new golf clubs or equipment or bags. They go on very elaborate and expensive golf vacations. You know, I know some people that scuba dive. I know some people that race motorcycles. I know some people that, you know, race trophy trucks and things like that. So we all kind of spend our money in different places, and we have different focuses. For me, this is my one really big hobby aside from snowboarding, and this is where I choose to spend some money. Again, when it comes back to worth, it is a very relative term. So for me, the gun that I carry every day and the gun that I deem to be extremely worthy is probably the oldest and cheapest gun that I have. This was actually the first handgun that I ever purchased myself when I was old enough to buy my own handgun, when I was 18 years old. It's a Gen 2 Glock 19, and I probably have, I would say, probably 50,000 rounds through this, and I carry this every single day. This is my 100% main concealed carry gun. And I put my life on it, and I spent, I think, in 1997, I believe, is when I bought this, and I think I paid around $400 for it. So, $400, plastic gun, which some people think is a total piece of crap, and some people think is the best thing since sliced bread. And I have tons of other guns that are more expensive, made of better quality materials, yet I choose to carry that every day, and I choose to put my life in that hand, in those hands. And to me, this does have very, very high quality. It just has high quality for different reasons than something like these over here. So again, it's all a matter of opinion, and it's all a matter of your relative position, and also, what you're going to be doing with the guns. So I think in general, most people that don't know anything about guns, when they come over and they look at my gun collection, or if I'm out at the range and they pick up something like this versus something like this, one of two things. They're going to think automatically this is better quality and nicer and higher quality just because it's shiny and it's got color in it and it's reflective and it's nice and heavy and it has a metal grip and it just feels very heavy and it feels like quality. Other people are gonna, again, people that don't maybe know a lot about guns are gonna grab this and they're gonna go, oh wow, this is a Glock, and everybody's heard of Glock, and they're gonna think that this is higher quality, either because they've heard of it and they've never heard of this, or they've just seen this in popular culture and TV shows and movies and things like that. They're going to think that this is higher quality. Or, we get obviously very, very strong opinions when it comes to this platform, the 1911, versus a Glock or a polymer framed gun. I mean, we all know that there's some people out there that just think this is the best gun ever created, bar none, hands down. There is no competition. There's other people that absolutely cannot stand these. It's a plastic gun, it looks ugly, it looks like a block, it has a terrible grip angle, it's a piece of crap. Why would you put your life in the hands of something that costs $500? Like, we all know that those are very strong opinions and they're out there. For me, I love them all and I shoot them all. This is one of my home defense guns. I have this hidden somewhere as a home defense gun. I have this somewhere as a home defense gun. This is my main primary carry weapon. So I love them all, and I shoot them all. I definitely shoot some more than others. Like this guy here, probably haven't shot this in a few years. But I love them all, and I enjoy them all, and they all are worth what they are worth to the person that has them. I know some people who have HKs and they think they are, bar none, the best gun ever to hit the face of the planet. And that's fine. For them, that's their best gun, that's their favorite gun, that's what works, and they love it. So I hope that kind of answered some of the questions here. Again, in my opinion, and I try and just take my prior knowledge out of it, and I try and take my biases out of it. Obviously, I think this gun is worth a lot because I paid for it. But to me, the fact that I can go to a manufacturer like Infinity, or I can go to a manufacturer like Wilson, and I can create a gun specific to my specifications, and I know that there's probably no other gun like it with all these different options that I chose on it anywhere around, and I can have a truly custom gun, then to me it's worth it. Is it worth it in the sense that this shoots a 9mm, and when I pull the trigger it goes bang, and this shoots a 9mm, and when I pull the trigger it goes bang? Then no, it's definitely not worth it. But the fact that there's a bunch of these around, or there is, who knows, hundreds of thousands, maybe if not even millions of these around, whereas there's one of these in this configuration with all of these different options in the whole world, then yeah, to me, it's worth it. My gun collection got to the point where I basically had all the production guns that I wanted, and I wanted to get into something a little bit more unique, and I wanted to get into something a little bit more custom, and that's when I got into the Infinities, and that's when I got into the Wilsons. And to me, again, with my perception, my opinion, they're worth it. So I was kind of rambling here in this video. I don't know if I did a good job answering those questions or not. But again, it's all, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, you know? So is it worth it? I don't know. That's something you have to decide for yourself. I happen to think that a custom Wilson or an Infinity, I happen to think that they are worth it. It just all depends on where you're at in life. It depends on your opinions. It depends on what you're going to use it for. So that's it. If you're thinking about it and you have the money and you're not going to forego paying rent, or you're not going to forego paying your mortgage or paying your car payment, or you're not going to not save for your kids' college fund in order to get your Wilson or your Infinity, then I say go ahead and do it. If you're going to take $5,000, $4,000 and buy an Infinity, but your wife's driving around a car that's 20 years old that's falling apart, or you don't have any money saved up for your kids' college, or you're renting a house instead of owning one, or whatever the case may be, then I think that maybe you should put some stuff like this on hold, and you should take care of those other things first, and then when you're in a better position, then you go ahead and get something like this. I mean, these are wants, not needs. I think that's pretty obvious and everybody knows that. So just kind of keep that in mind and keep that into perspective. All right, well, sorry if I rambled on. Sin City Guns, thanks for watching. You guys shoot straight.